Today we have heard about some more Death Guard leaks, particularly some making Mortarion more powerful, as well as some nice other abilities and rules on detachments for the Death Guard. So I'm going to be going over all of that in today's video. So starting off with Mortarion, it was leaked that he has 3 Warlord traits, and although we don't have a picture from the codex for this, it's from the same person that leaked all these other abilities, so I'm going to assume it's real, and it does seem realistic. So first of course, the Revoltingly Resilient Warlord trait. Now this, it gives him a 5-up Feel No Pain, as well as the new Disgustingly Resilient. So basically, Mortarion gets the new and the old Disgustingly Resilient. His other Warlord trait also makes it so that all enemy units within 3 inches don't benefit from any auras. So this is things like reroll 1s to hit some captains, etc. And also, of course, Arch Contaminator is the same as previously. Nearby units get to reroll all wound rolls on plague weapons. So what this means for Mortarion is, first of all, he's really beefy, because not only does he get the old Disgustingly Resilient, but he also gets the new Disgustingly Resilient, and for only 500 points, that's actually pretty good compared to what he was last edition. And the removing auras is going to make it a little harder for enemy units to beat up Mortarion in melee, because of course, although it doesn't make too much of a difference, making it so the enemies don't get those rerolls, etc. is quite nice. And of course, it's good to know that Arch Contaminator is the same as previously, because that's always been a really good Warlord trait, and it is still there. And of course, the Revoltingly Resilient Warlord trait can be used on other Death Guard characters, so that 5-up Feel No Pain, as well as the new Disgustingly Resilient, would also look quite good on, let's say, Demon Prince. Now, next up, we have got the Monstrous Resilience. Now, we're not sure whether this is an ability that comes with some of the new Death Guard, not necessarily new, but some of the Death Guard units, or whether this is a particular like Warlord trait or stratagem or something. However, the layout does seem to be quite similar to the layout that most abilities usually take, so I'm going to assume it's an ability. And basically what this reads is that you take -1 damage from attacks, the same as the current Disgustingly Resilient. Now, because of course it's called Monstrous Resilience, I'm going to assume that it stacks with the Disgustingly Resilient, because I don't see why you'd have the same ability with 2 different names. So getting basically -2 damage, and although we don't know what model this is going to be on, or much info about this, whatever it's on and however you put it on, it's certainly going to be extremely nice and make that unit extremely more resilient, because -2 damage is a lot of negative. Now, next up, these are the abilities that aren't so great for the Death Guard. So first of all, there is Infernal Jealousy. Now what this is basically you can have per detachment, maximum 1 Lord of the Death Guard. When they say Lord of the Death Guard, I assume that means a Lord of Contagion, Lord of Virulence, and possibly Chaos Lord and Chaos Lord in Terminator armor. So that's what I'm going to assume it means when it says Lord of the Death Guard. Although again, we're not 100% sure on the Chaos Lord and Terminator armor. Now, in addition, the other ability that comes with Infernal Jealousy is that per detachment you can only have maximum of 1 Demon Prince. Now, this sort of makes sense. Going to make it harder to run triple Demon Princes. And to be fair, I don't really see with the new meta you needing to run 2 or 3 Demon Princes. So overall, not too much of a hiccup, because Lords of Contagions aren't the best, so it's not too bad. However, the annoying ability is the Diseased Minion ability. So what this has is, first of all, it has limits on Poxwalker Hordes. So it says you can't have more Poxwalker units than bubonic Astartes core infantry units in each Death Guard detachment. Now, I assume bubonic Astartes core infantry, that's basically infantry, that's basically Plague Marines and possibly Terminators, and maybe things like the Biologist Putrefier. Basically whatever unit's core and is Astartes. So definitely Plague Marines, probably Terminators, like Lord Death Guard Terminators, and maybe something like the Biologist Putrifier. Now, although something like the Biologist Putrifier probably isn't core, this ability, one thing that it does do is it means that the combat patrol with the current rules can't be used, as of course it has 30 Poxwalkers, which has to be which has to be at least 2 units of Poxwalkers in the new combat patrol box, whereas only 1 core infantry unit, which is of course the unit of Plague Marines. So this means that either Games Workshop have made a mistake and the combat patrol box is unusable, or Typhus will come with an ability, this is probably more likely, that means that Typhus allows Poxwalkers to come in larger units, alternatively some sort of stratagem or something like that to make Poxwalkers in larger units possible, because I really don't see them making a combat patrol box unusable, because that really does not make logical sense. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It also says you cannot include more Plague Follower units than Bubonic, Astartes Core Infantry. I'm not sure what a Plague Follower unit is, although I assume they're the units like Foul Blightspawns, Biologists, Putrifiers, etc. This makes sense, makes it harder to run whatever 3 Foul Blightspawns or whatever, but again, I don't really see this being too much of an issue in many situations. It really just means it's going to be a bit of a pain to do list building, and also you can't really run a horde of 200 Poxwalkers in a list. So yeah, that's about it. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, could you please subscribe? That would mean an absolute ton. And of course, if you subscribe with notifications on, you'll get updates as soon as there's any new Death Guard news or leaks or whatever, because of course new codex, there's a lot coming out, and then of course once it does come out, I'll be going back to more tactics based Death Guard videos. So I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment your opinions on these new changes down below, but for now, bye.